Hello, everyone, and thanks so much for tuning in to the Raise Your Own Bar podcast. My name is Tamara Bucky. I'm your host. And with me today, we have a special guest. His name is Kameron Downes. He is an 18-year-old student at Calhoun Community College, where he is majoring in computer information systems. And this young man is working two full-time jobs. He works one as a manager at Wendy's, and he works as a football coach at Bob Jones High School. He wants to work in the IT field when he graduates from school, as well as continue to pursue coaching. Welcome, Cam. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Doing great. It's so good to have you. And it's so nice to talk to some young people. A lot of times I interview people my age or older.
Yeah,
So it's really great to hear from the youth and just kind of what you're thinking, how things are going in your life, and how you are looking to better yourself. So, two full-time jobs while you're in school. That is very ambitious.
it's a lot. A lot. Yeah.
Do you sleep?
Barely, barely, just barely. I probably get about like 4 to 5 hours of sleep, try. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So football is, I know you played football, so football is important to you.
Yeah. I've been playing football since a peewee, since I was a little kid. So it's been pretty much, I mean, I played other sports. I'd say like my favorite sport, my best sport was probably baseball, but
Hmm.
I didn't really stick to it. So, but football, that was my second love right there. So stuck with it, and now I'm trying to pursue a career with it in a different aspect than what others thought I was gonna. A lot of people thought I was gonna be on the field playing in NFL one day, but kind of wasn't really my my style. I just wanted to sit back, coach, and let everybody, do their thing.
Well, that's great. What an opportunity to be able to coach high school football when you're barely out of high school yourself.
Yeah.
That's got to be, for one, it's amazing. So congratulations. But do they
Thank you,
give you
thank you.
any drama? Do the students try to pick on you
Yeah,
or?
yeah, a lot because most of the people that I coached, besides the freshman team, I knew a couple of people from the freshman team because some of the middle schoolers would come up to the high school and see us and all that. But the varsity team, yeah, I knew a lot of them, basically everybody, because I played with them last year. So, it cracked a couple of jokes. Oh, Coach Kim, you're barely out of high school. It was like, hey, you were in our position a couple months ago. Like, yeah, you're right, I was. Yeah, it's a little funny, I guess.
And maybe they'll be in your position one day if they
Yeah,
work hard.
yeah, one day.
So working at Wendy's too, that is a tough life. Working in fast food
Yeah.
is not for the weak.
It's not. I've been working fast food since I was about 16 years old. So I'm kind of used to how it runs and how everything flows. But I will say it is tough. It is tougher than what other jobs I've had. So
Have you
yeah.
been with Wendy's the whole time, or have you worked other
Now, I've
restaurants?
worked I say the other restaurant that I've worked with, Slim Chickens. I worked there for about a year also. So about a year and a half actually. So yeah. Slim Chickens and Wendy's, two little fast
Okay.
food restaurants I've worked.
Well, Slim Chicken's got some good food.
Yeah.
I had them just the other day.
Yeah, I love them.
But you go where the opportunities are, right? I mean, if
Yeah,
Wendy's is going to give you a managerial role, then that's a pretty good gig
gotta take it.
for somebody that's 18 years old.
Yeah, fresh out of high school.
And you're out here going to school as well. How's that going for you?
It's going pretty good. I would say it's hard to manage, turning in assignments on time when I have to go to work from 8 to 1 o'clock, and assignments due at 11:59, but I still try to do what I can. So yeah, it's going pretty good though. I like it.
I worked for a little while when I was your age. I also worked full time at one job, part time at a restaurant.
Hmm.
I worked in a pizza kitchen,
Yeah.
and then I was in school full time as well. So I know your pain, but it is
Yeah,
100% worth it.
it is. It is. I'm just ready for it to all the school stuff to be over with and just start my career, fresh
Yeah.
start. Yeah.
How long have you been in school?
I've been in school. This is my second semester.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
So you have one under your belt already, and
Mm.
kind of got a handle on things. Are you
Yeah.
going in person or?
I do. I have one in-person class, and then the rest are. I got four classes in total, one in person, and then the rest are online. So I can kind of have time to myself to kind of just, if I want to go home, lay down, and work on some work. I don't have to be in class and in front of everybody when I'm probably tired from work or coaching or anything like that. So I try to make it work.
I can only imagine how tired you must be, but you're young, you've got the energy for it
Yeah,
now.
I mean, a lot of people they tell me that I'm probably as tired as how they think I would be, but I'm not really. It's not really that tiring to me, I would say, because I guess because I'm younger, but I'm kind of used to it, getting up early for school and then football practice in the morning and all that. So I say I'm kind of prepared for it, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense. So you
Yeah.
had a lot of extracurriculars when you were in school, plus
Hmm.
working since you were 16. So you kind of got used to just having zero free time.
Yeah, I like to stay busy, keep myself busy so I don't, go down the wrong path or anything like that.
I love that. You
Yeah,
got to stay busy because
got
if,
to.
if when you get bored, that's when you
That's when you
start.
start doing dumb things.
Yep,
Yep. I seen it happen to a lot of my friends, so
I did
I
it
know what
myself
not
when
to
I was
do.
younger.
But yep.
So I'm curious, I know your father's a musician. Do you do
Mhm.
anything with music?
I do. I like to do a little music on my free time when I can. Make a couple beats or just work on a couple songs here and there.
Do you play any instruments or anything?
I used to play back in third and fourth grade. I took guitar and drum lessons, but I stopped after a while. But and I'm a little iffy with the drums. I could play a good little bit. Guitar, I probably couldn't play as well as the drums, but yeah.
I tried to learn guitar a few times, and I have one. It's sitting in my living room gathering dust because I
Yeah,
don't
it's
play
kind of
it.
hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's tricky because I don't know. I think it's just the fingers
I know.
trying to switch back and forth and all that. I can't. I don't think my head can really process all of that while reading the music.
That's how I feel too. Your
Yeah,
dad and my boyfriend have told me I should learn piano. It might be a little bit easier for me
yeah,
to learn because I don't do any musical instruments, but I would love to.
yeah. I try to self teach myself a little something on the piano, just a little bit, just to know something. If I see one, I just play a little tune and that's it.
Your
So
dad
yeah,
is great at playing piano.
yeah.
I keep telling him he needs to teach me.
He needs to start a class for people or something.
I think that
It-
would be great. I would sign
yeah.
up as a student for sure. So I'm curious, how do you feel about college? Like, is it different than high school for you, or is it more of the same?
I would say high school. I mean, college compared to high school to me is kind of the same, but I will say like rules are more stricter. That's really the only thing. Like, you got a late assignment. High school teachers would be like, okay, it's all right. You can just give it to me a couple of days later or something like that. But with college, is if you don't got it turned in on that turn in due date, then that's it.
You get a
No,
zero.
yeah, no passes. So that's why you got to make sure you're on top of everything.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
It's actually an honor to be able to speak to somebody that's so young and so bright and responsible and just full of
Yeah,
hope. And I love it. I
thank you.
hope a bunch of people see this interview and get inspired by
I
you.
hope so too. Yeah.
So, how did you get such a strong work ethic?
I would say my grandparents, my great granddad and my granddad, they are real hands-on type of people, working on cars, cutting grass, doing stuff that, even if they don't want to do it, it got to be done. So they're just going to go ahead and do it. And I just been brought up around them and raised. They taught me a lot of the stuff that I know about cars and stuff like that. And along with that, I guess I picked up their work ethic kind of. So that really, they really are the ones that really taught me how to get stuff done and get it done on time and do it
I
right.
didn't know you know how to work on cars.
Yeah, I like cars. I got a Actually, at my granddad's house, I got a 1970 Gran Torino that I'm trying to start working on. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I just got to
My
get some more
mom used to
money
have
to.
one of those. That is a
Yeah,
beautiful car.
beautiful. I want to repaint it back to the original. It was like a cream kind of color. And I don't know. My mom, she was talking about taking the hood off and making a drop top, but I kind of don't want to. I want to keep it a classic car all around.
Man, you're gonna have to take me for a ride in that car because
Yeah.
that's making me think. My parents had a black, I think it was a 71 Gran
Hmm.
Torino
Yeah.
that they had, and it
That
was
yeah.
beautiful, and it was fast too.
That's what I want. I wanted to my granddad, only reason why I say I painted cream colors because my granddad wanted back to the original. But me personally, I would say I want an all black with the little red accents or something like
Ooh,
that. Make it a little sexy, little old school. Take it to June Fest or something.
man, that is awesome. The fact that
Yeah.
you learned how to work on cars, that's such a useful skill
Yeah.
where you save. I can't tell you how much money Andrew has saved us over the years because he knows how to work on cars and he's not afraid unless it's like a major thing.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube, figure out what you need,
Hmm.
get the manual for your car and you
Yeah,
can
like
figure it
little
out.
things like me and my granddad, we just changed my on my car, we just changed the brake pads. And that was my first time changing them. So now I know how to change brake pads. And it's not as hard as you really think. It's just once you, to me, I would say the hardest part is putting everything back together.
Mm.
Once you lay everything out and got it to where you're like, okay, I know how it goes back. You just take everything apart, change out the part, put everything back, and you're done. I say it's pretty easy. It's not hard to work on cars unless you get into the technical stuff, you know. But yeah, I like it.
I
It's
think it's
pretty
just
fun.
intimidating is all.
Yeah,
People get intimidated by what they've never been through, and once you break the seal and you're like, "Oh, I could do this." It's just following
yeah,
directions.
yeah. Pretty simple.
Wow. So you have a lot of options because there's money in that too if you decide
That
to
was
get bored
another
with.
option. I wanted to do try to go to mechanical engineering for go to college for mechanical engineering and try to either become a mechanic or do something with that. But I decided to take the IT field instead. I thought it was a better route.
Well, it's definitely lucrative. There's a
Yeah,
lot of opportunity in information systems and particularly with the world we live in, it's just getting more and more
yeah,
every
more
day.
technology every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah.
We're we're getting to the point now where so much is becoming automated and with AI and all of these
Hmm.
possible cyber security issues that could happen. We're probably going to need more and more IT people as we continue to grow and less
Definitely.
hands-on people.
Yeah. That's why I decided to take the IT route. My mom told me because she knew I wanted to do like mechanical engineering and do stuff with the mechanics field. But she told me if I learn how to do the IT and technology and all of that, because I'm still pretty new to it. I'm still trying to learn. But she said once I get that down pat, it's gonna make me a lot of money in the future. So I'm trying to stick with it and just, put everything in
And
God's hands and hope that it all goes well.
well, and the good thing is, you can never lose. Like you won't remember everything if you don't use it, but that skill set will carry on with you no matter what you do. So even if you decide to do something different, like
Hmm.
I worked in accounting for a long time, and even though I don't do that anymore, I still use those skills.
Yeah.
So that's the great thing is once you learn something, it's going to be there for you as a skill set you can rely on if you decide later on you want to run your own business or
Hmm.
something like that.
But yeah.
So I'm curious, how you mentioned that it's a lot to juggle. How do you stay on top of your deadlines and making sure that you turn everything in and juggling the different classes that you're going through?
I would say my I got a remind app on my phone that punch in little dates on the little remind app. Hey, remind me in a couple of days that I got a test due this day, or remind me that I have an assignment due this day. So that it's helped me a lot, I will say, or getting a little calendar or something like that just to mark off the days. But I would say the phone would be much more better because it's something I look at every day. I might misplace the calendar, but I know I won't misplace my phone. So
Not for
yeah,
long.
not for long, not at all. So yeah, Remind app has helped me a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I live by my calendar and I have like 10 different email addresses that I keep up with, and I just shove everything into the same calendar. So I have one place
Yeah.
to go, which helps keep me organized.
Hmm.
What are your study habits? How do you make sure that you are like, how do you prep for tests? I'm curious.
What I like to do is uh with my test, I would say like for math, they would give us like a pre-test or something like that. I would just like to go over the test and go over different possibilities because they give you a pre-test. It's gonna be like what's on the test. I mean, yeah, but I try to do different problems from that test that could be like number one might be this one on the like be number three on the pretest. Basically, what I'm trying to say, like number one on the pretest might be number four on the real test.
Mm.
So just going through, just rearranging, not taking the test, the pretest in order, but just skipping through, going through different ones, and then until I understand it fully. So yeah, and I will
So
say,
pre-test help. Hmm.
yeah, I will say, I don't really, I'm not a lecture type of person. I don't know. But I will say I realized in my in-person class when we have tests and all that, she would tell us, open up your computers, just go over this on your own and all that, or she'll give us a lecture or whatever. I wouldn't say that. I say like it helps, but I'm more of a one-on-one type of person, like with the teacher, because I don't know. I'm the type that I would try to figure it out myself before I ask for help. So I would say asking for help will help you out a lot. But if you're like me, Google, I would say Google, Google helped me a lot. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with going to Google to help you as long as it's with the same thing that you're doing. I'm not saying just go in there and look up all the answers, but if you don't know how to do something, ask Google and then try to rework it with Google, so you can get a rundown on it. But yeah,
Yeah. I'm big on YouTube videos.
yeah,
It
Khan
helped me
Academy,
so much
stuff
when I
like
was in
that.
school.
Yeah.
I would spend hours just like finding different videos that talked about the same thing
Hmm.
until I could understand it.
Yeah. That's basically what I like.
So you're using your resources is what
Yeah.
it sounds like.
Using my resources as
Nice.
much as possible.
So many people don't know what's available to them, and so they struggle and they feel helpless when really they need to just start with Google.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's just as simple as typing in how to do such and such, and then it's right there to help. I'm gonna give you step by step the instructions, and you're golden from there.
Oh.
So yeah.
So besides your academics and your jobs, what motivates you?
What motivates me, I would say my family. They really the support that I get from them and them pushing me every day to become the better person that I am and the better person that I aspire to be. I think that's really all the motivation that I need right there to be better for them, not
Love that.
just for myself.
Yeah. You're a good role model because having you're a good role model for others and you have good role models, which
Yeah.
is amazing. You've got your parents, your grandparents, your great grandparents. I mean, these unfortunately a lot of people don't have good role models to look up to, and
Yeah.
I consider a lot of my success because of my role models as well. So I
Hmm.
know a blessing when I see one, and I know your dad, of course, and I've met your grandmother. Um,
Yeah.
Good people, very good people.
Hmm.
Do they try to push you to do more, or
Yeah, yeah, they do. They try to push me to do more all the time. It's Yeah, that's one thing. They will try to push me to do more.
and you're an only child, right?
Yeah. Well, I have a stepsister on my mom's side, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
but yeah.
So they are probably pushing you pretty hard as
And
the young man in the next generation that's going to become one day the patriarch of the family.
yeah, I would say being the oldest cousin out of all of my first cousins on my dad's side, I will say that has helped me to kind of step up and grow up to be a role model for them also. So I try to keep in contact with them, make sure they're doing good, see how they're doing. I got a little cousin. She lives in Texas and she's doing wrestling. That's another sport that I played. I did wrestling in high school, and she calls me to get tips and all of that. What I can help her out with and all that. And I mean, just being there for her is all I can do. And I just try my best. So
Wow. I didn't know there were females wrestling. That is,
yeah, they just I want to say about two or 3 years ago they started an all females wrestling league actually.
huh,
Or not a league, but a division in high school. They have all females because it used to be a mixed to where they would have to fight males too sometimes, but now it's
wow.
just straight females.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have always liked wrestling. I grew up with boy cousins and then I had a brother. And
Hmm.
so we were always wrestling and fighting. I wonder if I would have had wrestling as an opportunity in school if I would have gone for it because I did enjoy it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I will say the workouts are kind of intense, but it's fun to me. I say wrestling was probably more harder than football to me.
Hmm,
Yeah, it
interesting.
was it
Football
was
looks like
pretty.
you guys train so much.
Yeah, but wrestling, it's like you take the football workouts that you see and then you put those into a barn with wrestling heat lamps. We have these heat lamps and it gets up to about 100 degrees. You're just wrestling with each other, sweaty, running around the building. It's just a lot. So I will say that's the only thing that probably make it harder. It's harder to breathe, harder to sweating everywhere, sweating in your eyes. So that's I say it's more harder than football to me though.
So do you work out
With
with
football,
the football team or are you
so right now it's off season, so I don't necessarily work out with them, but I do go out to the football field every Tuesdays and Thursdays to help train them and help them get better and work on some stuff that they want to work on. So yeah, but
well, it
besides
sounds like you
that,
were working out like constantly with when you were in high school
oh
based
yeah,
on your sports.
yeah,
Are you
but
still doing that now?
yes, as I was about to say, besides all of that, I go to the gym. I try to go every day. I'm actually trying to go today. I'm probably gonna go later, but I try to go every day. I keep a consistent workout schedule. Try to eat healthy and keep
Okay.
everything that I was doing in high school. Try to transition it to the, as people would say, the real world. So yeah, try to
The
fit it into
real
my
world.
schedules. Yeah, fit it into the schedule somehow.
We talked about your academics, we talked about your sports, we talked about your work. What Tell me what it's like to be a supervisor at Wendy's. What skills and things are
It's
you learning or that you've brought in from other places because that's a big responsibility.
I will say, um, working, being a manager, it's not really all as hard to me since I've been working. I've been working, like I said, fast food since I was 16. So everything is not really as hard to me. I kind of look at things as like, as long as everybody is in their spot and does their job, I think everything should run smoothly. If everybody's out of place, you can't pedal a bike with one leg. You got to have both of them to make the whole bike run and go. So I
Yeah.
say, as long as everybody's in their spots, I am pretty strict on being in positions and making sure that you're greeting customers, giving them a smile, how are you doing? Not, it don't got to be too much, but just customer service and being in place and trying to get food out as fast as we can to the best of our ability. So
How do you deal with people that are not doing right, that aren't following the rules or
people,
directions?
yeah, people that don't really follow the rules are, that you get a little warning at first, but if you're just continuously not following the rules and all of that, you're gonna eventually either get sent home, written up, or possibly fired if that's not your first strike. So, but everybody at my job, I say we're pretty all good on that. So
Got a
it's
good
pretty,
crew?
yeah, pretty good, pretty solid.
What about customers? How do you deal with customers when it comes to, like, if somebody asks for the manager or something? Do you ever have to deal with situations like that?
I haven't dealt with too many situations yet like that. I'm hoping I wouldn't have to deal with that many, but so far, just dealing with that, I try to keep, normally when I walk up to the window or walk up to the customer, they're yeah, and like, screaming and all that. I needed this, but I got this and all that. I'm just like, okay, try to calm them down first, come up with the solution, get them what they want or whatever they wanted, just so things won't escalate to a higher level. So just getting them what they wanted, motto, customers always right. Gotta you gotta, tend to your customers, tend to the paying customers. So I try to approach them calm, not being too loud with them. I will say if you raise your voice, they're gonna start raising your voice and then things will escalate. So as long as you keep a level head with them and just be calm, approach them respectfully, I think things have gone pretty good, pretty strong. So yeah.
So it sounds like you have a good mind for customer service, because just the idea of the customer's always right comes from a good place. I don't believe the customer's always
Yeah,
right,
I don't
but
believe that either, but
but
gotta
you treat them that way. If you
yeah,
treat them
treat
that
gotta treat
way,
them that
and
way.
chances are they will respond respectfully if you treat them as if they matter,
Mhm.
and you empathize with whatever the situation is, because mistakes happen.
Yeah,
We're all
yeah,
human.
for sure, for sure.
Customer service is not for the weak, though.
It's not. I seen customers and workers get into it a couple of times, and things have escalated a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's not for the
I've
weak at
never
all.
worked in fast food, but I did work in a pizza kitchen where we had a drive through.
Yeah.
And I've gotten into it. This was when I was a teenager. I did this from 16 to 19.
Mhm.
And sometimes you would get into it with customers because they would get an attitude. And I was not as emotionally mature as you are. And
Yeah.
so I might get an attitude back if somebody comes to me with an attitude. And I've had to learn over the years that that's not a good approach, because all you're going to do is escalate things and make it worse.
Yeah. Can't can't escalate it at all. Just stay calm, keep a level head. Hopefully they'll do the same. That's all I can ask for.
How did you learn such a skill?
Slim chickens, really. Slim chickens is like I wouldn't say they're like Chick-fil-A, but kinda in a sorta, kinda in a way. They're like strict on their shirt tucked in, belt on, hat on, smile, greet the customers. If you got a problem, let a manager know, and then you walk to the back and let the manager handle it. So I say like all of that, really just working there for so long, catching on to all of the things that people did over there and the things that they do. I kind of just it's just normal to me now. It's just what I do.
So you learned some good business practices
Yeah.
from working there, and then you've
Mhm.
carried that over to your other jobs. And I'm sure that'll carry forward anywhere you
Yeah.
go, because once you kind of develop that mindset of customer service, then it does stick with you.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow, that's amazing. And like I said before we got on the video, what you're doing now is building your future. And even if you change your mind about what you want to do, if you decide
Mhm.
later maybe you don't want to do computer information systems or anything related to football, these skills are helping to build the foundation for you as a human being, and you can take them with you. And it's okay to do something different later on if you decide
Mhm. Yeah.
that's what you want to do. So many people I talk to around your age, they get this in their head that they need to pick what they're going to do today that's going to be the same thing they do for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I started off wanting to go into mechanical engineering. So I made a switch to IT, I would say like a month or two before I graduated, I would say. I was pretty much set on mechanical engineering, but once I looked into the IT field and I got a good understanding of it, I was like, might as well. So
Yeah, I can
why
only
not?
imagine
Yeah.
the if you look at I'm sure if you look at the data as far as job opportunities,
Hmm.
pay, overtime, and things things like that, especially when you mentioned you like working remotely, you're looking for potentially a remote job in your career field when you're ready. Um, Probably more opportunity for remote jobs in IT than there would be in engineering.
Yeah.
Andrew's an engineer, and he's working from home today only because we have some work going on at the house. But he normally has to
Uh,
be in the office in person doing
yeah.
hands-on stuff.
Hmm. I mean, that's the kind of guy I am though. Making the switch to IT is kind of different. I'm more of a hands-on type of guy. I would love to be in the engineering field, but I would say better future, like for my future's sake, I would say IT is probably the best
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
I wanted to go into acting when I was younger, but I picked
Acting,
accounting
yeah.
because it was safe and there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. There's nothing
I
wrong
was
with
trying to
that.
think of security,
Yeah.
really, stability, financial security.
Mm.
But I still get to have fun. I do some small roles as an actress now and improv and things like that. So the cool thing is there's room for everything in
Yeah.
your life.
Hmm.
Besides working on cars and dabbling in music, what are some of your other hobbies?
Really, I would say just going to the gym, working out, and playing the game with my friends. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much all I have time to do. But yeah.
Yeah, I
Besides
can.
all of that, just playing the game, yeah, fishing also. I like to go fishing, but it's kind of cold. So I put that
It
on
is
pause
cold.
a little bit. But yeah, fishing and playing basketball and playing the game, pretty much it.
What advice would you give to high school students that might look up to you or want to follow in similar footsteps to you?
I would say, for me, what I know, I when I was a senior, like I said, I was kind of skeptical about what I wanted to go into for college and all that. But I will say one piece of advice I would say you don't have to choose immediately after high school. I've learned that you can just choose probably like your junior, some would say, yeah, junior year, sophomore, junior year of college. I would say you don't gotta pick soon as you're out of high school. Another piece of advice is making sure that you're on top of all your work, staying on top of your work, no late days, because that the grades will start to add up, and just basically being a nice, loving, careful person to any or everybody. Treat people how you want to be treated. That's basically how I was taught, how I was raised. So I say live by that. I think you'll be pretty good in life.
Is there any advice you could give me? Things that adults that are twice your age might be able to do better to give opportunity and whatnot to people your age?
That's something I haven't really thought of actually, but I'd say just be supportive, I say, to the youth community, because in my eyes, I feel like what the youth need most from the adults is support and help, because sometimes we can get misleaded. most adults already been through situations. So I'll just say try to uplift your kids and try to support them because they are the future of this world and of this community. So as long as you're supporting them, because you never know who they might be in the future. You might be a teacher, or like for me, my coach, he was a big, very big inspiration. His name was his is Lamaz Ray, Coach Ray. It was a point in time where I didn't even want to play football anymore, and I wanted to quit. And he was just so supportive. He told my mom, he was like, "Don't let him quit. I got him. Just don't let him quit." And me hearing that from him really helped me get through the season and get through football and all of that. So just be as supportive as you can to the youth and help them any questions they got. Or sometimes you might have to ask them. Like I said, I don't ask questions unless a teacher or somebody confronts me about it. So asking questions, being supportive, that's pretty much it to me.
So mentorship,
Mentorship.
make sure
Yeah.
that you are just given some kind of an oversight, like keeping
Yeah.
an eye on them. If you see they're struggling, reach out
Hmm.
because they might be prideful and may not want to
Yeah.
speak up for themselves because there's a pride thing in not wanting to ask for help. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But it
And
is
it's
okay to ask for help.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I'm one of those ones where I won't ask for help at all until I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. I will sooner or later come to the conclusion that I need help, but it's gonna take a little second for me to ask for it. So yeah,
But you'll try to help yourself through Google first anyway,
yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure, for sure.
So I just have a couple more questions.
Mhm.
Social media is all the rage now, and people live their lives virtually, it seems. Do you spend much time on social media?
I do spend time on social media, but it's not like posting. I really just scroll a lot on TikTok and through Instagram. I don't really like to post too much of my personal life. I don't know. Maybe
Smart.
that's just yeah.
No, I
Uh,
think that's smart. I
Yeah.
scroll. I'm lurking. I don't really post
Yeah.
a whole lot. I'm just
Yeah, I'm
lurking.
just a scroller. Like if you go to my Instagram right now, I think I have zero posts, none of that. It's just an account. That's it. So yeah.
You don't have any desire to post anything on TikTok or try to become a social media influencer or anything like that?
I will say I do want to start me and my friends were talking about starting a YouTube like streaming or something like that, just playing the games or even a podcast, probably something
Yeah.
like that. So I do want to start getting into the social media aspect of things and trying to get out there.
I could see you doing I could see you offering advice to people on like TikTok videos, whether it be working out or whether it
Hmm.
be like just being a better person, getting your life together. I could see you doing that kind of stuff because
Yeah.
you have such a level head and such a calm demeanor about you, and that's why you probably are a natural coach and manager.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people say about me. I a leader, if anybody could describe me in one word, I would say a leader. you know
Yeah.
i I was the team captain for my football team, and from there my coach, that's how I got the coaching job. He was like, you got a lot of leadership with you, and I think you would be a great coach one day. So I was like, why not try it out and see what I can do with it. And I say my first year, we went like freshman, we went 2-6. We didn't do pretty good, but the team that we had, they haven't won many games in the past. I think they only won like one game in the past 3 years before we got them. So winning those two games, it was a big accomplishment for them, and they felt pretty good about it. So only thing they can do from there is grow, go on to the next level, and just get better. So
Yeah.
try to tell them that every day. Don't look at it as y'all are losers 2-6 because you did better than what you did last year. So as long as you take every year a little bit and grow a little bit more from each year, I'd say you're gonna be pretty good.
Incremental improvements. Yes,
Yeah,
that's where it's at.
yeah.
Well, this has been a really awesome interview, Cam. Thank you so much for taking the time to just
Thank you.
give
Thank
us an
you.
insight into what it's like being an 18-year-old that's out here working like a dog every day, two
I try, I
jobs,
try, I try.
school, and all that. So this has been wonderful. Is there anything else you would like to share, or is there anything you want to plug where people might want to get in touch with you? Or I know you don't really
Um,
post on social media. Do you want people to follow you? If so, we can share that information.
yeah, you don't gotta follow me. I mean, my Facebook is I'm pretty sure it's Cameron Suggs Downs. So you can follow me on it's just my name. So you can follow me on Facebook. Any questions you can inbox me. I'm happy and more than welcome to answer any questions. So yeah,
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This is awesome. You are
no
great, and
problem.
I'm so proud of you, and I'm so
Thank
proud
you,
of your
thank
dad
you,
for raising such a fine young man.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Cam.
No problem.